Everybody has the right to defend themselves against an aggressive person or group or being occupied, but nobody has the right to kill innocent civilians. Uh, that just makes you as bad as the other side you're fighting against that you claim are killing, innocent civilians.
In Beirut, Lebanon, we sat down face to face with senior Hamas official Ghazi Hamid, pressing him on the more than 200 hostages his organization is holding in Gaza tonight.
Will you release all of the hostages for a complete ceasefire?
Look, I think we are a human being. We want these people to go home. We want them. And also, we want our prisoner now to go home. So I think we are ready now to have complete compromise, complete deal in order to release all the hostages, either military or civilians, and they release all the prisoners from the Israeli detention centers.
But calls for compromise a far cry from this warning that sent shockwaves around the world. Hamad saying the Hamas terror attack on October 7th was just the first, and that there will be a second, third, and fourth attack on Israel.
But how can you ask for a ceasefire? How can you ask for Israel to stop their aggression when you go on television in Lebanon here last week and say that you will continue your aggression? You will continue to launch October 7th again and again and again.
What do you want us to do? To stop?
He probably realized that he really won't be able to actually fight outright, against the Israeli military, which is why he wants a ceasefire, but also trying to get some Palestinian people freed or whoever freed.
If you're asking for a ceasefire, it has to be two ways.
No, I am talking that we want to continue against occupation. This is our national, our legal right to fight against occupation. It is according to international law, according to all the regulation in the world. It is in Europe you fight against the Nazis.
But then what happened on October 7th when there were clearly civilians who were killed? How would that make you a good partner to a peace negotiation with Israel?
I don't have any details about this.
Well, that is more than likely a lie. He knows what happened that day and that innocent, civilians were killed. Uh, but he doesn't want to admit to it because it's gonna make him look bad.
But the details of the shocking and horrific attack carried out by what the IDF said were thousands of Hamas terrorists are painfully clear. 1,400 people killed, including at least 260 people attending a music festival. We pressed Hamad about the devastating civilian toll.
But did Hamas kill civilians on October 7th?
Look, we never had intention or decision. It's something is a prohibited.
Okay, just because you didn't have intention doesn't mean that innocent people weren't killed. This dude is trying to make himself look more appealing than what his group actually is.
Within our religion, Islam, it is prohibited to harm or to kill any civilians. But what happened maybe in the first day that when people went inside and there is a wide area, there is people, there is some complication there, we are against killing or hurting the civilians.
And yet the world saw plain as day.
This is 10,000 who were killed in Gaza. 99.9% are civilians.
You want to talk about the civilians in the Gaza Strip, and I'm happy to talk about the civilians in the Gaza Strip. What about them? Did they ask for this? They knew that they would be punished by the actions of Hamas. They have no political alternative to Hamas. They do not vote for another organization.
You forget that about 2 million people since 17 years living under the sanctions and blockade and embargo and collective punishment. You forget that?
I have not forgotten. I've been to Gaza many times.
17 years living in very miserable situation. And no one take care about them. And this is so legit.
Yeah, he's still trying to justify the deaths of innocent people by saying, look at how the Israeli government is treating the Gazan people and the harsh occupation that they have to deal with. But you can't go around killing innocent people. That does make you a bad guy. And this isn't just happening on one side. Both sides are killing innocent people. Both sides are pretty bad in this situation.
and militarized around Gaza impose the closures on Gaza.
It's hard to see how Hamas's October 7th operation advanced any cause, least of all that of the Palestinians. But Hamad said the main benefit was that the Palestinian cause is now front and center on the global stage and has inspired protests around the world, including in the West.
So you got people in the streets, in capitals throughout the world, protesting in favor of the Palestinians. It cost you the lives of thousands of people, innocent people.
Yes.
Will you do it again? You've said you will. To advance that cause again.
Look, the question...
Will you kill more civilians to get more protesters in the streets of Washington and London?
We are still fighting. You want us to stop? If we stop now...
You're asking...
The question is, will you stop fighting? The question is... the question isn't, will you stop fighting? The question is, will you sacrifice more people to get awareness, to raise awareness about the situation? You can get people around the world to protest for the plight of the Palestinian people by, peaceful means. Just go around and start protesting, hold strikes and stuff like that. You don't need to kill innocent people. That makes you the bad guy.
Well, if we will stop now, we will go back to the miserable situation, to humiliation, to be under the occupation.
Matt Bradley joins us tonight from Beirut. Matt, having sat down with Ghazi Hamad, did you get a sense that there was any softening about what he said about the October 7th terror attacks, what he said in Arabic, essentially that they would do this again? And is that still the mindset he has and Hamas has?
Well, no, I didn't really get that sense because, it was only a week ago that he made those comments to Lebanese TV here in Beirut, where he said that he would launch those attacks or Hamas would do that again and again and again. What I did get the sense of is that he's very willing to say something completely different to an Arabic-speaking Middle Eastern audience than he is in English to a Western or an American audience. That stands to reason. Of course, he's going to be saying different things to different audiences, but it just goes to show the disparity in the understanding of between these two cultures and how he can say something like that and how he would be celebrated for saying something like that he would continue these attacks, and how if he were to say that to a Western audience in English, he would be very harshly criticized. This is a man who was a spokesperson. He speaks fluent English. You can see that. He understands how to speak to different audiences. It's unclear whether he thought that what he said on Lebanese television was going to be something that the rest of the world would hear and that other people might call him out on that. We even heard today from the White House commenting on his comments, him specifically. So, he probably didn't expect that those things he said on Lebanese television were going to make the kind of waves that they did.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated.